What up, Blackish fam? I hope all is well in your corner of the world. Man, we're back. We're going to get into, some more Montana 300. This is someone that a year ago, someone put me on some Montana 300. I'm from Chicago, too. I never heard of the cat. But we're always looking for artists that are very lyrically dense, right? We do intense intellectual breakdowns where we go bar for bar, and I love people that have quite a bit of wordplay. Montana 300 does not disappoint. So this is one. Someone in the comment section said, "Yo, you got to check out Favorite Teacher" by Montana 300. So that's what we got lined up here. Let's check it out. See if we can catch this wordplay. I love to do a lot of whiteboard.
Classes in session. I hope you came here to listen. I give you what they ain't gonna mention. I keep it a buck. You can't find this knowledge in colleges. Prices just pay me attention. See, my teacher told me one day you gonna wake up in prison.
See, I ain't gonna lie. It's not really my style of music when it comes to the flow. I'm used to a different type of flow. It's just, what I prefer myself. But that doesn't mean his wordplay is not on point. I liked what he said here because we say a lot about this channel, Blackish University, Modern Day Griots. And his wordplay, he said, "Don't pay tuition, just pay attention," right? It's a different form of payment here. That's where he's about to spit some knowledge.
You can't find this knowledge in colleges, prices just pay me attention. See, my teacher told me one day you gonna wake up in prison. Cause I used to stay in detention. I made a decision to avoid some fatal collisions by being my greatest invention, the greatest that did it. Every line got them hooked. Right now I'm taking them fishing. I am the one that just...
Right, he's referencing detention with prison. We've all been there, right? I used to go to Lincoln Park High School back in the day. I'm talking about before the millennium changed over, right? I started Lincoln Park High School in 1996. Those were the days, I tell you, before cell phones and social media. We had some fun, man. But what did he say there? He talked about detention, but he also played on the listeners being hooked, but also the play on fishing hooks as well, right?
I used to stay in detention. I made a decision to avoid some fatal collisions by being my greatest invention, the greatest that did it. Every line got them hooked. Right now I'm taking them fishing. I am the LeBron. I do more than just play my position. I feel I'm the NJ and Pippen. Shake off the sadness, regain your ambition. To put in the work is to pay your admission. When I come.
You see what he said there, right? He said he's LeBron, meaning like I'm the greatest of all time, right? Or I'm the best in the game right now, right? Like LeBron. You might say LeBron is better than Mike or Mike is better than LeBron, but I think most people wouldn't argue with saying that LeBron is the best in the game right now, all things considered. He took it even further than that. He said, I don't just play my position. What did he say? I'm MJ, Pippen, Phil Jackson, Dennis Rodman. He's saying like, yo, I go above all others, but I'm capable of scoring at will. I'm capable of doing it all. Sick, because he could have said that in several different ways that were less complex. But I like the picture that he's painting.
I'm the NJ and Pippen. Right now I'm taking them fishing. I am the LeBron. I do more than just play my position. I feel I'm the NJ and Pippen. Shake off the sadness, regain your ambition. To put in the work is to pay your admission. When I come and cook them, it ain't in the kitchen. I'm just warming up though, like making some biscuits, preparing my students. Testing their faith for their vision. They wonder what grade I'm gonna get.
I hear what he said there, right? He started talking about, shaking off sadness, right? He's talking about putting that work, pay your admission, right? By putting in this work, right? But listen what he said about being in the kitchen, right? He said, "I'm going to cook you," all right? He's talking about lyrically, right? Not with fire. He's talking about the wordplay. He said cooking. Let's let her play it again.
Regain your ambition. To put in the work is to pay your admission. When I come and cook them, it ain't in the kitchen. I'm just warming up though, like making some biscuits, preparing my students. Testing their...
Yeah, he's talking about come cook them. The wordplay with kitchen, with warming up, with also making some biscuits. Like, you ain't in the kitchen, but you sure do talk a lot about some biscuits, boy.
I come and cook them, it ain't in the kitchen. I'm just warming up, though, like making some biscuits, preparing my students. Testing their faith for their vision. They wonder what grade I'm gonna give them. And when you're a God, you don't wonder if heaven exists. You just wonder which way you gonna kill them. See, life is a bitch and she's beautiful.
that I'm a God, I don't wonder if heaven exists, right? I already know. I've been there. I've been around that. I know there's something deeper, right? He said, that's not even what I got to think about how I got to kill him. I don't know. Is that a reference to saying he could send him up or down? I don't know, but he's just saying that he's definitely not wondering if heaven exists.
Wonder if heaven exists, you just wonder which way you gonna kill him. See, life is a bitch and she's beautiful, but her attitude ain't the prettiest. Reality ain't got no sympathy. My man is a failure until he quits. See, half of y'all.
See, I love when he's dropping knowledge like that, right? Because it's very true. They say that at a lot of universities, right? And when you start college at a university, the professor might say, hey, everyone has an A right now. Sorry, it's just the baby mama calling. I'm sure it's about something about my son, but I'll get to her in a bit here. Send to shoot her that text. But anyway, right, when they say everybody has an A right now, but are you going to do the work to keep it up, right? You could all pass this class with an excellent grade. All you got to do is communicate and do the work when I tell you to do the work and turn it in on time. So you all have 100%, and now you're just deducting from here. And he's saying kind of something very similar, right? What did he say? He said, no man is a failure until he quits. There was a saying, I used to say this joke I heard when I was a shorty. They were like, it was actually a joke about Polish people, which at the time they were saying Polish people are stupid because of this. But you could insert whatever, your mom or Mexicans or whatever the hell. But they said this woman, she swam halfway across the ocean, decided it was going to be too much work, so she swam back. Boy, if you don't get your dumb ass, right? They're saying if you would have just kept going, it was the same amount of work. But you saw that work as a big hurdle and you just decided to go back. You were a failure. It's just good wordplay. Again, he paints these pictures that get you talking about something because you can, if you have a good imagination, you can reference these things. It's just excellent writing.
Reality ain't got no sympathy. My man is a failure until he quits. See, half of y'all won't understand me, but my music's not for the idiots. God is my host, I bet haters get ghosts soon as they see these clips ain't it's insidious. Time to go in. I turn up like
Did you catch that? My God, he comes in so quick and just flips it on him. He said something about God is my host. But he said haters gonna ghost, right? Something like that, whatever. But these clips ain't insidious. So now it changes it where you start thinking about movie clips because of the movie a few years back, Insidious. It was a scary movie, right? It's just, I love what he's saying. Insidious, for those that don't know, it's just like something kind of creeping up on you that, like your cancer, right? I don't know, something that's, you don't feel much pain now, but it's silently going through your body, attacking your organs, right? Man, just sick wordplay. Again, he's the clips you aren't going to see they're not movie clips. They're going to be the clips in the pistol. Sick.
My man is a failure until he quits. See, half of y'all won't understand me, but my music's not for the idiots. God is my host, I bet haters get ghosts soon as they see these clips ain't insidious. It's time to go in. I turn up like keys in the whip. Pardon my English, I'm lit. I go hard in the paint like these clips ain't insidious. It's time to go in. I turn up like keys in the whip. Pardon my English, I'm lit. I go hard in the paint.
Ooh, who is this now? That's still him flowing. I heard the flow change a little bit, but the wordplay I did catch. He said it's time to go in. I turn up like keys in the whip, right? Think about that wordplay about starting a car. Key go in, right? Go in like he's going in on the beat, right? But turn up, obviously, but turn up like he does with the car key, right? To get it started. So easy to miss these bars.
They see these clips ain't insidious. It's time to go in. I turn up like keys in the whip. Pardon my English, I'm lit. I go hard in the paint like a bitch that was key in your whip with a heart that don't even exist. Who would have thought? All of the pain in the
You get what he said? He said, I go hard in the paint. Again, I love that. Whenever I've listened to some of his music, he normally references like comic books, movies. But there's like I don't want to say it's childish, but there's like the wordplay is kind of referencing old things from your past, right? It might be like Hulk or it might be like Batman, but it's some kind of cultural reference from back in the day, if you would.
Paint like a bitch that was key in your whip with a heart that don't even exist.
So he's saying like go hard in the paint. You know, I used to play basketball. That's like if you're a power forward or you're a center, you're playing in the in the paint, right? You're in the center, right under the on the court. It's normally marked in red. They call it in the zone. You can only stay there for a few seconds. You mess around and get a 3-second call called on you. But he's saying I go hard in the paint. But also he said like a bitch that just keyed your whip. And you got to go hard in the paint to get the key, you know, to leave its mark. Get it in there, get it real good, go up and down, get those strokes going. But just the wordplay, so easy to miss this. I don't think a lot of cats are catching all the wordplay.
Pardon my English, I'm lit. I go hard in the paint like a bitch that was key in your whip.
And I didn't even catch it. He just said, pardon my English, I'm lit. English literature, right? He's talking about university. He's talking about a favorite teacher. He's in school. Pardon my English, I'm lit. Whoo! God damn. See, and again, I might not be a flow. I love hip hop. I don't like his particular flow in this song. Not my favorite artist. You know, it's just some people you hear something in the voice or so that you connect with. I definitely enjoy his music though because of the wordplay, and I can appreciate his art. Right? It's just like Lupe Fiasco or so. I don't really get down with all of Lupe, but I hear some of his, not the commercial hits, right? I hear something, I'm like, man, this guy is smart. That's how I feel about this cat. Is he looks, you know, like just super West Side, as you would say, right? But no, this guy is spitting some knowledge. He's putting out information into the world, and you know, I feel kind of stupid judging him, right? I'm from Chicago too. I got a property on the West Side off Lake and Laramie, if you guys know where that is. But most people wouldn't say I look West Side, right? There's like a stereotypical look. And I think that's what is a kind of why you get confused listening to him. Like he said, I don't make music for idiots, right? He's making like, he's got really intellectual wordplay. It's sick.
I turn up like keys in the whip. Pardon my English, I'm lit. I go hard in the paint like a bitch that was key in your whip with a heart that don't even exist. Who would have thought? All of the pain and the struggle I went through will lead them to this. I done took off. Success is the reason they pissed. I got all the ingredients, bitch. Chemistry class. Show your true colors and dime. Cause I am the teacher that drips. Ready for that action that came in on the chemistry will lead them to this. I done took off. Success is the reason they pissed. I got all the ingredients, bitch. Chemistry class. Show your true colors and dime. Cause I am the teacher that drips. Ready for that action.
No, he said chemistry class. Like they're almost like you would back in the day. One of my guys used to freestyle. He'd be like, "Throw me a word, throw me a word." He'd be like, "Literature, bag," and he'd be like, "Bag, no hey, fuck the bag." You know, just going off it. It was like chemistry class, right? And they were talking about showing your true colors and dye. You know, what did he say? He said talking about drips. You could be talking about. You know, the dripping a chemical or causing some sort of reaction. I didn't even really catch that at first. I was just chemistry class. So, you know, he just went off on it.
Ingredients, bitch. Chemistry class. Show your true colors and dime. Cause I am the teacher that drips. Ready for that action that came in my movie too early, so I got to squeeze in the clip. Let me talk to him.
Same wordplay, right? He's talking about the movie and now squeezing a clip. Actually,
cause I got all the ingredients, brain like a bitch that was key in your whip with a heart that don't even exist. Who would have thought? All of the pain and the struggle I went through will lead them to this. I done took off. Success is the reason they pissed. I got all the ingredients, bitch. Chemistry class. Show your true colors and dime. Cause I am the teacher that drips. Ready for that action that came in my movie too early, so I got to squeeze in the clip. Let me talk to him.
You know what he did there? I didn't even catch it at first. He just like did a recap on all of his previous bars. Did you catch that? Right? He said, what did he say? He said, all the pain and struggle, right? Starting from in his beginning verse, he's talking about being in detention and hard times, right? The pain, the struggle, right? Follow me here. He said, I done took off, right? But he was talking about starting the car, the wordplay on turning on the ignition, right? Then he said, it got the ingredients, right? Going back to cooking them, but not in the kitchen. And then he said something about showing your true colors. Right after dude said, chemistry class, don't show your true colors and die, right? He went off with your true colors, like the bitch keying the whip and scratching the paint, right? The color of the paint. And then he said, end his movie early. Earlier, we were talking about how he said insidious. It was referencing a movie clip. Did y'all even catch that? I swear I didn't catch it at first. I'm like, I do got a pretty sharp mind, even though I'm, sometimes can be a little bit lit here and there, give or take, depending on when you catch me. But that was sick. I did not expect that.
And all the ingredients, bitch. Chemistry class. Show your true colors and die, cause I am the teacher that drips. Ready for that action that came in my movie too early, so I got to squeeze in the clip. Let me talk to him. But doesn't need me to do its job, so I'm not here to give you a tough time. But the reason you claim you ain't eating is
saying life is tough, right? He said life is tough, but in a very long way. He said life doesn't need me to do its job, right? So I'm not here to give you a tough time. Basically saying if I were here doing his job, it would consist of me giving you a hard time.
need me to do its job, so I'm not here to give you a tough time. But the reason you claim you ain't eating is because you do too much talking at lunchtime. See, I had to go through some dog days to make sure my daughter is sunshine. I gotta take care of what's mine. See, I had to go through some dog days to make sure my daughter is sunshine. I gotta take care.
The wordplay there on the dark days and making sure his daughter and son shine, right? Like sunshine, shining for his kids.
See, I had to go through some dog days to make sure my daughter is sunshine. I gotta take care of what's mine. I can't put nothing above mine. I got a gun up in my desk. If the devil walks in, I'ma bust mine. What the fuck you think I keep the metaphor? Most of y'all won't catch that was a punchline.
Ooh, I did catch that. I did.
Bust mine. What the fuck you think I keep the metaphor? Most of y'all won't catch that was a I gotta take care of what's mine. I can't put nothing above mine. I got a gun up in my desk. If the devil walks in, I'ma bust mine. What the fuck you think I keep the metaphor? Most of y'all won't catch that was a punchline.
The punchline is on mining metals, right? Hey, think about how many times he said mine, different types of mine, right? He said, I got to take care of what's mine. Can't put nothing above mine. I got a gun up in my desk. If the devil walks in, I'm going to bust mine, right? What you think I keep the metal for? The metal is obviously, he's talking about that steel, right? The pistol, but it's also wordplay on metal mining, right? Or mining metals or mining precious metals. Boy!
I'm a bust mine. What the fuck you think I keep the metal for? Most of y'all won't catch that was a punchline. When I got that workout, it was gym class. I got my weight off the slim fast. Hell, lots of green on me like kick.
You wouldn't catch that unless you kind of moved some weight or had some drug dealing references in your past. But he said you got to get that workout, right? Like an exercise workout, but also get that workout as in the product in the streets, right? I'm getting that workout is what he's talking about. He said, what did he say? He gets more weight off, right? Still getting that weight out. He's got more weight off than Slim Fast, right? So just that play on words there, sick.
When I got that workout, it was gym class. I got my weight off the Slim Fast. Hell, lots of green on me like kick ass. Santa Claus, I got a big bag.
See, again, what I was talking about, his references are normally not childish, but there's a childish nature, a fun nature is probably a better word. He just referenced, got lots of green. That could be either weed or it could be cash, right? Depending on the context. But he's also referencing the movie Kick-Ass, where the dude like literally wears all green. The dude wanted to fight bad guys despite not having any like superhero powers, right?
Wait off the Slim Fast. Hell, lots of green on me like Kick-Ass. Santa Claus, I got a big bag. Because they heard a nigga seeing seven.
Now like Santa Claus, I got a big bag. Obviously chasing the bag. Got the bag on him, but Santa Claus always got the bag.
Green on me like Kick-Ass. Santa Claus, I got a big bag. Wanna wrestle because they heard a nigga seeing seven figures like a phone number. Tell him kick rocks like Dwayne Johnson. See the cold shoulder, stone cold stunner. I can't finish.
Again, we just got done talking about the childlike references, right? Which is awesome. It kind of is what makes him unique there. What do you say? Bitches want to wrestle, right? They heard a nigga seeing seven figures like a phone number. Obviously, there's 7 digits in a phone number, right? But he's seeing 7 figures, meaning he's a millionaire. 6 figures would be 100,000, 7 figures would be 1 million. And then he said, tell them to kick rocks, meaning get the fuck out of here, right? But also referencing The Rock, like he also brought up Dwayne Johnson.
Tell him kick rocks like Dwayne Johnson. See the cold shoulder, Stone Cold Stunner.
Stone Cold. Now he's talking. It's a playoff wrestling, right? He already mentioned Dwayne Johnson. Now he's talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin in the stunner move, right?
Like a phone number. Tell him kick rocks like Dwayne Johnson. See the cold shoulder, Stone Cold Stunner. I can't finish shake on my savage ways. I praise God and then go let that ratchet play.
Ooh, the wrestling. I'm not really too big on WWE, but I know some about old school WWE, right? So he's already talking about bitches want to wrestle, right? And he kick rocks, Dwayne Johnson, the cold shoulder, right? Then Stone Cold Steve Austin. Then the stunner move, right, is a move in wrestling. I don't know if it's an actual character. I don't know. Maybe it's a newer one. But then what he said? He said, I can't seem to shake all my savage ways, right? That's Randy Savage. And then I praise God and then go let that ratchet blaze. Now, I do remember there was a dude, I believe his name was Blaze, but it is a little old for me. I wasn't really too into WWE like that. But I believe Blaze, he's also referencing a person. I don't know if Ratchet, obviously, go let that ratchet blaze, let that heat go, that pistol. But I don't know if the ratchet was a move of this character, Blaze. The person I'm thinking of that was also named Blaze, there was a female wrestler. So yeah, if you get that reference or know someone named Blaze in the WWE, let me know in the comment section. We normally watch these live, so you're kind of limited to my knowledge. I know a lot of weird, random trivia about religious stuff, WWE stuff, and some sports outside of basketball are just not my best.
Niggas seeing 7 figures like a phone number. Tell him kick rocks like Dwayne Johnson. See the cold shoulder, Stone Cold Stunner. I can't finish shake on my savage ways. I praise God and then go let that ratchet blaze. You gon' think I was throwing my hammer raised. Then I bang at your top down in Dallas Page. Got my opposition trying to watch and listen while the killing will walk all it.
He just said somebody else, right? He said Diamond Dallas Page. Diamond Dallas Page, that's a wrestler, right? DDP. All right, now, come on. Let's let it ride.
Phone number. Tell him kick rocks like Dwayne Johnson. See the cold shoulder, Stone Cold Stunner. I can't finish shake on my savage ways. I praise God and then go let that ratchet blaze. You gon' think I was throwing my hammer raised. Then I bang at your top down in Dallas Page.
Obviously, we caught the Thor reference as well.
Got my opposition trying to watch and listen while I kill him with ball, call it right in prison. You so stubborn that you forgot how to listen while you sit around waiting on God to fix it. See, I knew it was something beyond the trenches. I knew riches don't never respond to wishes, and when life wasn't fair to me.
Sick wordplay. I might have to take back what I said about him not being, I could definitely vibe with this song. I've heard other songs from him where it almost it sounds like auto-tune where he's singing or so, and I don't really get down with that stuff too much. But this one, he's got some bars in this. He said, talking about the opposition, trying to watch and listen, and then he said a cool line. He said, you don't sit around and listen, waiting on God to fix it, right? That's just sick because, let's just let it ride again.
See, I knew it was something beyond the trenches. I knew riches don't never respond to wishes, and when life wasn't fair to me, God was still there for me. My lyrics therapy, lots. I knew riches forgot how to listen while you.
Yeah, riches don't ever respond to wishes. That's a quotable right there. When you're asking God for riches, right? Do you ever get it by simply making a wish? You got to go out and put in that work.
Trying to watch and listen while I kill him with ball, call it right in prison. You so stubborn that you forgot how to listen while you sit around waiting on God to fix it. See, I knew it was something beyond the trenches. I knew riches don't never respond to wishes, and when life wasn't fair to me, God was still there for me. My lyrics therapy, lots of healing. I wake up in the morning and.
And I got a reference. There was an old guy way back in the day, and I've said this before. He gave me a really good quotable. This guy said, it's kind of funny when I would mention in sales how I was always so lucky. And he said, funny thing about luck, the harder you work, the luckier you get. And it's very true. A lot of times you put in that work, and you don't look up. And then people are like, oh man, he made it overnight. He's an overnight success. But they don't understand the time and energy that you put in behind the scenes. And I really like how he's positioned that.
And when life wasn't fair to me, God was still there for me. My lyrics is therapy, lots of healing. I wake up in the morning and look in the mirror and see my best friend and my competition. Passion all in my labor, I'm optimistic.
I gotta reference The Man in the Mirror. I haven't done it in a while, but I swear some of these songs make me think about this. Way back in the day, I was in this class and I had to do some type of work on a poem. And I really just, I found a poem that I could kind of vibe with and I memorized it. And it's just one that I've used throughout my life because of the message. It's called The Man in the Mirror. You guys should check it out. It goes like this. It says, when you get all you want and your struggle for self and the world makes you king for the day, then go to the mirror and look at yourself and see what that man has to say. For it isn't your mother, your father, or wife whose judgment upon you must pass. The man whose verdict counts most in your life is the one staring back from the glass. He's the fellow to please, never mind all the rest, for he's with you right to the end. What does this say? And you passed your most difficult test if the man in the glass is your friend. They throw some references out here. It's an old school poem. You may be like Jack Horner and chisel a plum and think you're a wonderful guy. But if the man in the glass says you're only a bum if you can't look him straight in the eye. So you could fool the whole world down the highway of years and get pats on the back as you pass, but your final reward will be heartache and tears if you've cheated the man in the glass. And I love that because it puts it in a perspective where, you can do all this, you can get Gucci, you can do all this, but if you can't be comfortable with who you are to yourself, you ain't shit, right? And it's just, I don't know, I'm not really into poetry, but I don't even remember the teacher that assigned it, but I remember that poem word for word because it's meant so much. And that's kind of helped how I live my life, right? I try not to do things and wear logos and be fit into any category and I got an Abe Lincoln hat, not this hat, but I got one. Got the long beard, the bigger glasses, different colors. I try to not check a box, and that I always think about that poem. So I just wanted to share that with you guys.
In the morning and look in the mirror and see my best friend and my competition. Passion all in my labor. I'm optimistic. Got money off the mic like I'm Robin Givens. I'm heaven sent.
Oh, he said I got money off the mic like I'm Robin Givens. He's getting money from the mic because he's a rapper, but he's referring to the mic as Mike Tyson, who was with Robin Givens back in the 90s, I want to say. Mike Tyson, the relationship really came to an end, right? It was either early 90s or late 80s. She was an actress. She was actually married to the guy. They filed for divorce, but she got, I think Mike Tyson at the time was worth like $50 or $60 million. She got a $10 million payout. And I don't even know if there was any alimony or any other support, spousal support. But this cat, she made money off the mic, right? But supposedly he abused her. I don't really know the history too much, but supposedly he was beating that ass, I think. He did go to prison too. But that was for rape. But not of her. Shit.
Petition, passion all in my life.
Sounds like a bad guy now. Shit.
I'm optimistic. Got money off the mic like I'm Robin Givens. I'm heaven sent. I was airborne. The pain is what got.
Ooh, those are two movies. But I don't think Robin Givens is in either of those. Heaven Sent is a movie, and Airborne, but Airborne like with an E, Airborne, right? Airborne is also a movie, but I don't think Robin Givens or Mike Tyson is in it, or in either of those. Let me know in the comment section if you got that reference, because it's kind of going over my head. I'll let it ride a little bit to hear the context, but...
The mystic got money off the mic like I'm Robin Givens. I'm heaven sent, I was airborne. The pain is what got me in rare form. See, Malcolm has told us that the future belongs to the one that prepares for it.
The Malcolm X reference. But yeah, I don't know what he's referencing there. I would assume because he said Robin Givens and she's an actress and he's mentioning these movies that she would be connected some way. I don't know if she did any directing or anything like that. Let me know though. Now I'm curious, and now later in this afternoon when I'm thinking about it, I'll try to Google it, but I don't really know. I can't think of it off the top. But I also like what he said. He referenced Malcolm X there at the end. Let's run it back a bit.
Look at me in red form. See, Malcolm has told us that the future belongs to the ones that prepares for it.
Yeah, he's talking about, this is something Malcolm X said. This was 1962. And most people remember the quotable, the future belongs to those who prepare for it today. He's, he's speaking in the context of the struggle for the civil rights, right? For millions of Black Americans, and he's talking about bringing change sooner versus later. I mean, I guess there's a few different ways that you could probably interpret that, but the future belongs to the ones that prepare for it. That's just a famous Malcolm X speech there.
Look at me in red form. See, Malcolm has told us that the future belongs to the ones that prepares for it. They didn't witness your struggle, so they cannot judge you at all because they wasn't there for it. Tell my haters, my talents prepared.
Don't judge a book by its cover, right? You never know. Everybody got a story, bro. You fuck around and find out, right?
They didn't witness your struggle, so they cannot judge you at all because they wasn't there for it. Tell my haters, my talents prepared for them. Fuck their lives and fuck whoever cares for them. I jumped off the porch at age 17. Was the fight?
Ooh, that's hater of the year comment right there. He said, fuck their lives and fuck whoever cares for them. God damn.
Prepare for them, fuck their lives and fuck whoever cares for them. I jumped off the porch at age 17. Was the flyest killer that they ever seen. James Bond in this everything, shooting to blood in your eyes. That's that 007 screen.
What did he say? Flyest killer, the wordplay, also with James Bond, also with 007. I think he said screen at the end, so it could be referencing the movie 007. I don't really remember. Oh, blood was... Well, he said blood in your eyes, right? I don't know if that was a James Bond. I wouldn't be surprised if that was a 007, a James Bond movie, but I don't know off top.
James Bond in that Chevy thing, shooting to blood in your eyes.
In that Chevy thing, right?
That's that 007 screen. I finally moved on to do better things. Once I divorced the streets with no wedding ring. Put my life in these bars like I'm Claude and Ray. But my magic didn't let Penny Hardaway. God didn't write none of these books. It was
I didn't even catch it right. He said divorce the streets. Right, he divorced the streets with no wedding ring. Now, divorcing the streets, saying he's moved on with his life, right, or he left that life behind, like you would when you divorce someone, right? But he said he put, what did he say? He put life in these bars like Claude and Ray. That's a reference to one of my favorite movies, Life. What is that? That's Martin and goddamn. Why can I not think of dude's name? I was gonna Eddie Murphy and Martin, right? Where Eddie Murphy's a slick talking dude and kind of cons Martin into doing something. They end up getting caught. They think they killed this dude when really this dude who was a cop killed him, I believe. Yeah, and took his money. And then they go to prison for life. That's the one where you will eat your biscuit. And Martin's about to give him this biscuit. Everybody's like, hell no, you do that, they're going to be trying to get everything from you. You better hold your ground. Hell yeah, he's going to eat his biscuit. Motherfucker, this is my biscuit, right? And then motherfuckers get to whooping his ass. They also talk about the upper room with Jesus, right? The upper room is where you go when you die. Sick, but that's Claude and Ray, the Life movie. And then I think he referenced, he said something about Worked My Magic, Penny Hardaway. I think most people will get the Orlando Magic reference, the NBA reference to Penny Hardaway back in the day. Who remembers when Penny Hardaway used to do those, the little clay figure, he used to do those Sprite commercials. Now, if you search the video No Diggity, I think they have a very similar, if it's not the Penny Hardaway dude, playing the piano. They used to use that kind of figure for, I think it was like somehow tied to Penny Hardaway.
I'm Claude and Ray, but my magic didn't let Penny Hardaway. God didn't write none of these books. It was the humans that touched it. How you asking for strength and forgiveness, but scared to ask God if a book was corrupted. We are students of life, so we keep learning, because the truth is we never get out of school.
That life is school, right? You are never done learning. I tell my kids now, read a book, read a blog, read an article. Man, always build. That's something no one can ever take from you. You can put me away in the darkest hole, but you can't take away the things that I've learned in this world, right? You should be hungry for it, man, because the world starts making more and more sense as you start understanding how things operate in your place in the world.
Corrupted. We are students of life, so we keep learning, because the truth is we never get out of school. I had to get on that right track. I had to hurdle them obstacles. You gon' train to complain.
We're talking about school extracurricular activities, right? He mentioned track. He said obstacles, and then he said hurdles.
I had to get on that right track. I had to hurdle them obstacles. You gon' train to complain, but you gotta choose. That's your knowledge with y'all, cause I rock with you. Anything you do good, that's the God in you. I'm just here to bring more of that out of you. I'm everyone's favorite teacher. I am the one you should watch for. When it comes to that fire, I got more. Now you niggas know what's in my top drawer. I'm everyone's favorite teacher. I am the one you should watch for. When it comes to that fire, I got more. Now you niggas know what's in my top drawer.
Ooh, shit. Yo, I gotta take back what I said. I was just got done talking about how to rock with a lot of his music, and then this song got me geeked up. Man, his wordplay is on point. Just the flow is sick. Man, this cat's from Chicago too. So got to represent Chicago and show support for Chicago artists. So thank you for the suggestion. I'm glad we checked out this. This was a Favorite Teacher by Montana 300. And yo, the wordplay is on point. It's definitely more complex than I thought. If you're a fan of Montana 300, man, send me a comment. Let me know what other songs we could check out of his. We have a folder that's dedicated to Montana 300. We've done a handful of breakdowns like this. If you guys love hip-hop and you love these intellectual breakdowns, then, man, subscribe to the channel. Show us some love. And check out the folders we have with a variety of different artists, different tracks, and then the breakdowns that we've done with each track. We'll see you on the next video.